Carla Camila Cabello Estrabo is born in Cojamar, Eastern Havana, Cuba, March 3rd of 1997. Cabello was born to Alejandro and Sinew Cabello. During her early years, Camila would move back and forth from Havana to Mexico City. When Cabello was 5 years old, she and her mother moved to Miami, Florida. I didn't realize then, but boy does it hit me now. I realize how scary it must have been for them, for my mom to leave the streets of Havana, where our neighbors were, our friends, where we gathered every holiday to eat pork and my grandmother's rice and beans, and to not hear the malecon or the heartbeat of the city pulsing with every crash of the wave. For my dad to leave his 4 brothers and sisters, the memory of his parents and the street vendors selling food that I would beg him to get me in the mornings before school. The best friends he'd grown up with, everything. They decided to start from the ground up, said Camila in an interview with Pop Sugar. Camila recalls the day she moved to the U.S. with her mother. Why were we packing up our stuff? Why was my grandma hugging me tighter than usual? Where were we going? We're going to Disney World, that's what my mom told me when we were crossing the border, seeing my dad become an ant in the distance as he fell behind. By what felt like an act of God, her mother Sinew got a job as an architect in Miami, which she had been studying in Cuba. 1.5 years later, her father was able to join them and start the life that they'd always dreamed of together in the U.S. And they finally took her on a trip to Disney. During Cabello's early years in Miami, she learned to love music. Even though she was shy, Camila began singing in the corner of a YMCA to a boombox. People would crowd around and listen as she made YouTube covers, and she says that looking back, they were horrible. We're certain they weren't as bad as she thought, but this was all she needed to catch the love for entertaining and singing. Still incredibly shy, Camila stumbled across a video titled Tips on Auditioning for the X Factor by One Direction. In this moment, she decided that she would muster up all of her courage and audition. Although her parents thought she would definitely be too shy, they agreed to take her. This was her first time ever singing in front of an audience. 15-year-old Camila's audition for X Factor was nothing less than dramatic. She tried to audition for 2 days in a row as an alternate, yet after being on stage with the mic in her hand twice, the producers told her that she would not be able to come back anymore. There was no time for her to audition. They had run out of alternate space. Camila was heartbroken. Her grandmother was crying, and the moment felt hopeless. Until Simon Cowell himself walked out on stage. Camila pleaded with him to let her audition the next day. He agreed, and she made it on the show. Apparently, Cowell has an eye for talent, as they say, and a bit of luck. Unfortunately, after the first round, our persistent star was rejected from X Factor. But luckily, Simon Cowell had something else in mind. You see, there were 5 girls rejected after the first round, and he had an idea to place them together in a group and let them continue. This group was made up of Camila, Allie, Normani, Dina, and Lauren. Though they had huge potential, the group only received 3rd place. Yet again, Simon Cowell saves the day by suggesting a name change, as their name was Lilas, which stood for Love You Like a Sister. The girls opened up to their fans for help naming the group, and their fans did not disappoint, as they came up with Fifth Harmony. The girls eventually signed to Simon Cowell's label Psycho Music in 2013. Their success was quick. They were a household name in just a few short months of their first lead single release, Miss Movin' On. During Cabello's time in Fifth Harmony, they released several chart toppers, such as Worth It, which reached spot 12 on Billboard charts, and Work From Home, peaking at number 4. During 2016, they received many awards: American Music Awards, iHeartRadio Music Awards, MTV Awards, and People's Choice Awards. Camila released a single, I Know What You Did Last Summer, with her rumored boyfriend of the time, Shawn Mendes. This is when Fifth Harmony fans began to worry, as Camila was in less and less photos of the group. Not too long after that, Camila released a song with Machine Gun Kelly, Bad Things, and she was starting to get the bug to work on her own. But what set everything up in flames? Well, several tour dates were canceled after Camila walked off stage mid-show, and a Simon Cowell interview that was cringingly awkward. When he was asked what was going on with Fifth Harmony, he said,
"Same with any group. You know, we have conversations about what they want to do. You've got to listen to them. It'll be fine."
And after that comment, he mouthed, "I hope so." We could all read his lips, so Cowell knew something was up. In one of Fifth Harmony's first performances on X Factor, Judge Demi Lovato mentioned that the only member that stood out was Camila. She continued by saying you could all learn something from her. It sure sounds like a solo career was already in the making, and with Demi's comment, it appears that Camila has been capable of that since day one. December 19th of 2016, the exact date that Camila's contract expired, Fifth Harmony released a statement on Twitter claiming that Camila would no longer be part of the group. At their first performance without Camila, the group made it very clear that they were not on good terms, as the beginning of the performance showed a fifth member being thrown off the stage. Not very subtle or very professional. But why did she choose to leave? Why did she want to take on the music world on her own? Well, she wanted artistic freedom. She wanted to be able to express herself through her songs. In an interview with Independent, Camila expressed that she had requested to start writing songs for Fifth Harmony, but was declined. Once she began writing on her own with Diplo, Cashmere Cat, and Benny Blanco, she was given what felt like an ultimatum, though her contract did not specifically hold her back from a solo career. Cabello said it became very clear that it was not possible to do solo stuff while being in the group at the same time. If anyone wants to explore their individuality, it's not right for people to tell you no. Cabello released her first single in 2017, Crying in the Club, which she released featuring the epic songwriter herself, Sia. She followed this release up with her incredibly memorable first completely solo performance, being at the Billboard Music Awards in 2017. To say that Camila proved at this performance her capability as a solo artist would be an understatement. Cabello's success leaving Fifth Harmony has been off the charts. She was on the cover of Billboard magazine just a few months after her departure from the group. She also hopped onto the Fate and Furious soundtrack, Hey Ma, with J Balvin and Pitbull. Our beloved pop star started her first summer as a solo artist on tour, opening for Bruno Mars, which she announced on Instagram saying, "Every night I'm going to be peering out from the side of the stage, trying to learn as much as I can, because for years I've looked up to Bruno as a vocalist, musician, entertainer, and artist. I'm so honored and excited to be able to open up these shows." Camila released her live debut of I Have Questions amid this tour as well. Basically, the girl was not losing her opportunity to make it big. There's no denying that Camila's major success came when releasing her single Havana, featuring Young Thug. The song took her back to her roots as she was born in Havana, Cuba. An interview with Z100, Camila said that Havana was the hardest song to write on her record, starting in January and finally completing the song in September. Well, girl, it was worth it. But things have only just begun to pick up for the lady. So October 2017 was a huge month for Cabello, as she was featured in a car karaoke release with Joe Jonas, where they created a prom scene, where they redeemed King and Queen. Guests picked up on Camila's success early in 2017 and made her the face for their holiday campaign. Now this photo shoot captured all of the vibes of summer, with Cabello on a terrace in her bikini and a towel. Cabello released a featurette as her music video for Havana, and the video highlights all the steamy vibes of Cuba, and showcases the pop star's heritage in captivating dance moves and a little red dress. After this release, Havana hit #1 in the world on iTunes, and it reached Billboard's #1 spot in only a matter of days. It's earned Cabello the longest run on top of pop charts in 5 years for a female artist. The song also hit former President Barack Obama's list of favorite songs. Now that might be the best compliment yet. Camila was freaking out a little bit over it, saying on Instagram, "Can you hear my screams from wherever you are, because Havana just became the #1 song on iTunes worldwide. I've rewritten this caption about 1 million times right now because I'm overwhelmed and can't think straight." With more than 888 million streams on Spotify, Camila then became the most streamed female ever. The pop star goes on to win Billboard's Woman in Music Breakthrough Artist of the Year and announces her solo album, Camila. But before the release happens, she surprises her fans with 2 new singles the day the album is available for pre-order: Never Be the Same and Real Friends. Camila's performances are continually breathtaking as she takes the stage of the Jingle Ball in Madison Square Garden, the same show she performed with Fifth Harmony the year prior. We wonder, what are those ladies thinking now? 2018 began with Camila's release of her first self-titled album. The album's original name was The Healing, The Hurting, The Loving, but she decided to switch up the name. Camila says about the choice on her Instagram, "I decided to call it by my name because this is where this chapter in my life ended. It started with somebody else's story, and it ended with me finding my way back to myself." 2018 was a year full of rewards, pregnancy rumors, and releases. She even became best friends with Ariana Grande. And if you're hanging out with the top pop star, you must be one yourself. So it was a great year for Camila. We also see Cabello becoming ambassador for Save the Children, visiting sick children in hospitals and performing benefit concerts to raise money and awareness for the organization. Camila began her Never Be the Same tour with a concert in Puerto Rico, where she donated a portion of the proceeds to the Hurricane Maria Relief Fund. Camila is passionate about children's access to education, especially after devastating tragedies. Next on her list, Camila was featured on Bazzi's release Beautiful, which jumped right back onto Billboard's Top 40 and peaked at spot number 33. She then performed her new single Consequences at the American Music Awards and won a whopping 4 AMAs the same night. The music video for Consequences features a cameo by Dylan Sprouse. He and Camila share what might be one of the hottest kisses on screen in 2018. Come on, you know it. Nobody can forget it. Camila has mentioned on more than one occasion that she wants to, and we quote, "make a love song for immigrants." The word immigrant has such a negative connotation. I can just imagine all the little girls out there who have dreams of coming here and feeling unwanted. It inspires me in my music to do best and give them the light that I have. I want to be what people think of when they think of America, a person who, no matter what her first language was or her religion is, can see her dreams come to life if she works hard enough. Way to go, Camila. Now Camila is doing just that, showing everyone that the spotlight can be used for good and for change. And we don't see her stopping anytime soon. She has courage, persistence, heart, and endless talent.